Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 275 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media. Excited for this one. One of the hardest throwers in baseball, but we have slowed him down just enough to chop it up for 20 minutes or so. Your reliever from the LA Angels, Ben Joyce. Ben, thanks for joining us. First of all, you're not being kidnapped, right? You're okay? Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. Here at the golf course with some of the guys about to get around in, just enjoying the nice weather out here.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's nice weather wherever you play, whether it's in Anaheim or Arizona, so you're good to go. So tell me, who's a part of the group?
We got basically the whole pitcher and catcher group from spring training. It's all I just saw Detmers and Chase Silseth walk in, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't seen them play yet, but all the catchers, all the pitchers that were at spring training were invited, so I think it's going to be a good group.
Okay. We were just out in Arizona. I saw you at the CAA house. I turned around, wanted to talk to you, wanted to introduce myself in person, and then boom, you were gone. What happened? We had this great little par 3 get up, all set up, and you didn't step up to the tee box. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of didn't want to embarrass anybody. I've been working on my golf game. I didn't want to be the one to sink it and have to make them give me that Hummer. I was just trying to save everybody the trouble.
Okay, God, you're such a team guy. That is so cool of you. All right, give me the lowdown on the golf game. How is it?
Oh, it's not good. I'm just getting into it, so I'm still in the beginner stages of trying to figure out how to not slice my driver 200 yards to the right. So, I'm working on it for sure.
But you're a massive man. So when you do get a hold of your driver, are you one of those guys that hits it like 320, 340?
Yeah, I mean it'll go far for sure. It's just I really am trying to figure out how to hit it straight. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, so it's a lot of Army golf at this point. Left, right,
Yes,
left, right.
it
Okay,
is.
that's fine. I'm going to guess that your roommate and your battery mate, Logan O'Hoppe, is great at this. He's one of those guys that it just feels like anything he does athletically turns to gold. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's crazy because we both got here to our spring training house. We were like, all right, we've waited too long. Like, let's get into golf. And we both got our golf clubs. And he's like, yeah, I never play. First day at the range, he's just smoking balls, like everywhere, wherever he wants them. I was like, dude, like, are you lying to me or is this? And he's like, no, this is like I really never play. So I don't know. He's just gifted, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to give away how he did on the little par 3 competition we had out at the CAA baseball house, but first of all, he looked like a European golfer. He was wearing some sort of shirt that was like, dude, what are you trying to walk up and down the runway? Is he one of those guys that it checks the mirror 16 times before he leaves the house and makes sure he looks perfect? Because he was all dressed to the nines a whole bit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He does get into that stuff. Every day. We leave early, 6:30, 6:15, and I walk out. I'm just kind of wearing my normal stuff, and he's already all dressed up and hair's looking great. Everything. I'm like, you're a step ahead of me already. So here we go.
So most likely, if we were to have a teammate most likely to being a model somewhere in Europe, he's the runaway winner on the Angels, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah. First of all, I cannot believe that you were really 5'5" when you went into high school. Is that true, or am I getting Wikipedia'd again?
No, that's true. Honestly, it might even been a little shorter than that. I'd say anywhere from 5'3" to 5'5", 95 pounds. Soaking wet. Like I was not much to look at going into high school.
So I'm going to guess pitching in the major leagues was about the furthest thing from your mind at that point?
Yeah, at that point I was just trying to make the varsity team. I caught bullpens the first 2 years. That was the only chance I got to sniff varsity, was just catching the bullpens during the games, and played on JV the first 2 years. So at that point I was just trying to play, and even throughout my whole high school career I didn't have any offers anywhere. So I kind of already had it planned out to just go to Tennessee for school, and last minute got an offer to Walter State. So it was never really thought it was in the cards for me, but also never really gave up at the same time.
So when did it all happen? Like between growth spurt and all of a sudden that rocket ship appeared on your right shoulder?
Yeah, it was senior year of high school going into Walter State. I grew like 10 inches that year. And that was, I remember the summer after my senior year, I was throwing in a tournament. It was the first time really throwing in front of scouts or anything. And I remember coming into the dugout and they were like, "Yeah, you hit 95 today." And I was like, "Yeah, that's funny. Like, good one, whatever." And they were like, "No, like seriously." Like they showed me a picture of it, and that was the first time I really ever threw over 91 in my life. So it was one of those like kind of surreal moments, and then it just kind of kept climbing from there.
Can I need to go backward. Did you say you grew 10 inches?
Yes, yeah, 10 inches, and it's funny because I have a twin brother, and we literally grew the exact same time, like the exact same amount.
So
But both grew like it was 10 might be a stretch. It was like 8 to 10 inches that one year.
was it within a calendar year of school?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I remember we came back and everyone was like, "Whoa, what the heck happened to these guys?" But it wasn't like I'm just like this like filled out guy. Like I was still like lanky and hadn't grown into my body yet. So it was definitely a long process.
Yeah, but if you grow between 8 and 10 inches in a year, that must be like. Were your parents seeing notice? Were they noticing like you would wake up one day and they were like, "Well, what the heck happened here?"
Yeah, they did because I mean, I just remember always being in church growing up and I would be like measuring myself against my dad like he's standing next to me. And I mean, I don't I hate to say this, he's not tall. He's 5'9". So I mean, I would be like, "Oh, I want to be like at his shoulder." And like a few months later I'd be like, "Wait, I'm like at his head now." And then a few months later I was like, "Well, I'm actually taller than him. This doesn't seem right." Like it was just weird. It went so fast.
Well, listen, I've got two sons that are 24 and 19. I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm above average. I'm also 6 feet wide. At least it feels that way these days. And so my sons are 6'5" and 6'2". And I remember when the first one passed me. And every
Mhm.
day since then, he has let me know about it. So do you talk trash to your parents about it?
I used to until it was. I mean, at this point, 8 inches taller than my dad. So I'm like, I mean, I really don't. It's not worth it right now. But yeah, I mean, I remember when I first passed him, I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
You mentioned that you heard the first time you hit 95. When was the first time you hit 100? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I do. It was sophomore year at Walter State. We had a preseason scrimmage in January. I mean, I had been hurt my freshman year, so I basically just worked out and threw every day, and so I really didn't have any idea how hard I was throwing. We didn't have all the technology and stuff there. It was just kind of go out and do your thing, and but obviously for the games we had some kind of I think a track man, I guess, and I was throwing and I could see everyone kind of crowding around behind home plate. I thought they were just kind of just hanging out. And after the inning, I came in and I look at my phone and they had already sent me a video. And it was the guy we had one of the jobs at Walter State. You had to hold the radar gun, and the kid that was holding it had pulled out his phone and videoed it because I was throwing like 98, 99, and then the next pitch it popped up 100, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, 100!" I like can hear the video now. It was hilarious, and that was the first time I ever threw 100, and I don't think I threw it again that whole year until whenever I got to Tennessee. But that was the first time I ever threw 100.
So the first time you do it, are you walking around like, are you doing the whole Conor McGregor like swag walk? Are you like, this is a different animal I've turned into?
No, I don't think so because I really like I kind of expected it at that point. Like I was like I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at like physically and I was like I know that I can throw hard. I just don't know how hard and when I saw 100 obviously it was crazy. It was awesome, but I was like I still think there's more in the tank.
More right now?
No, 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 at that
Oh
time.
gosh, all right.
I mean maybe, I don't know. I guess you never know.
Well, you became kind of this, and I mean this in a positive way, almost like this physical freak that became a social media phenomenon while you were in Knoxville. I remember my
Mhm.
youngest son, who was a solid baseball player. He's like, "Dad, have you seen Ben Joyce throw the ball?" I was like, "I think I've seen a clip or two." He's like, "No, no, no. Have you seen it?" And then, could you feel what was going on around you at that time?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Coach Vitello had a funny line. He was like, it was like a traveling circus every time that I came up, and it was wild because I mean, I don't really put too much into Instagram or anything, but I mean, I had 1,000 followers, and then the next day I had 50, and then the next day I had 100. I was like, this is like, how does this even like, what am I even supposed to do with this? Like, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know. It was honestly overwhelming. I like turned off all my notifications, and it was crazy. Like, I've never honestly thought about it that much, and now just talking about it, I'm like, I couldn't believe what was happening.
So, in retrospect, was there like a big leaguer that followed you or DM'd you or something that reached out and you were like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Pirates fan. Both my parents are from Pittsburgh, and after one outing, Andrew McCutchen tweeted at me and was like, "What the heck is it?" I don't remember exactly what he said. It was something about, I think I'd hit like 104, and I was like, this is getting ridiculous at this point. Like, how does this happening? And that was one that really stuck out for me. Is I was like, I grew up loving Andrew McCutchen, and then he's like, he knows who I am. It's like, it's crazy.
So, when you tell the parents, can you believe Andrew McCutchen actually went on Twitter and followed me and commented on this whole thing? What was their reaction?
Oh, my dad loved it. I mean, he's a diehard Pittsburgh fan, and he's obviously loves McCutchen, and he was over the roof. I think he talked about it every day for the next year. So it was funny, and I mean, there was a bunch of other, like, honestly, my parents would always send me the stuff because I don't really go on Twitter or Instagram too much, but they would always send me something, like somebody tweeted it out that I've looked up to my whole life, and it was crazy. They loved it, and I mean, it was really cool to see for me.
Anybody else outside of McCutchen that really kind of grabbed their interest?
Honestly, the one crazy one for me was Johnny Knoxville. He followed me on Instagram and like messaged me and all this stuff, and I was like, "What the heck?" Like, it was. I mean, I love. He's hilarious. Obviously, like, his stuff is awesome, and there's a little connection. Like, his my mom worked with his sister. So like, I guess that's kind of the connection. But I mean, when he did that, I was like, this is getting crazy.
More with the hard throwing righty coming your way. But first, it is time to take your nutrition to the entirely next level. That's why I want to talk to you about today's sponsor, Huel. It is spelled Huel, the global complete nutritional brand with over 400 million meals sold. Their Black Edition, ready to drink. It is a total game changer, a complete meal in a bottle. It is high in protein, low in sugar, and packed with all the nutrients that your body needs to feel and perform at its best. As you know, I am always on the move. In fact, I was gone from this house 15 of 16 days at one point in February. I didn't always have time to whip up a balanced meal. That's where Huel came in handy. Huel, it is convenient. It tastes so good. Their shakes actually taste, well, kind of like a milkshake. They come in chocolate or vanilla. So join the community of Hooligans with this exclusive offer for our new customers. That is 15% off plus a free gift with the code ROSE15 at Huel.com. That is 15% plus a free gift for new customers with the code ROSE15 at Huel.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. See the description for terms and conditions. That's good stuff, dude. And then last year, you throw 105.5 miles an hour against Tommy Edman. Did it feel different?
I wouldn't say it felt different. I know I had like just a little more adrenaline. Obviously a fun series to play in Anaheim or LA because I mean, you can see in the background the crowd is awesome. It feels like you're, especially, I mean, playing in Dodger Stadium is awesome, but playing at home, it feels like a even added adrenaline rush just with all the fans there. And I think that's just the only difference I felt was I was just a little more amped up than usual.
Do you think you can hit 107?
I do. I really do. Like, it's weird to say, but I don't I don't see why not.
110?
I don't know about that. Well, we'll see. We'll start with 107 and work from there.
Well, I mean, when you throw that hard, that's what everybody wants to see. You said it earlier. It was like a little bit of a traveling circus. Does it put pressure on you to entertain us all because we're like, let's see how high Ben Joyce can go?
Not really, to be honest. Like I just go out there and do my thing, and like I don't know, like I feel like I can do it every time I go out there, and I'm not when I'm out on the mound, I'm just kind of blocking everything else out. Like obviously when it happens it's cool, but at the end of the day, I just when I'm out there I just want to win and want to compete. So I'm not really even thinking about that in the moment.
I know, but you just kind of brushed it off when I said, do you think you can hit 107? You were like, yeah, I can. It just seems so nonchalant. It is just,
Yeah.
it is to this point just become a part of your arsenal. Do you even surprise yourself?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think obviously last year was a big year for me. It sucked to end on the injured list, but I mean, my average fastball went up. I mean, obviously that was the hardest hit thrown in my life, and I think just continuing to put my body in a position to do that, and also to handle it for a full season is obviously the next step for me. And it's definitely sometimes I surprise myself, but I also at the same time I expect to see those things when I go out there.
I thought within the last 2 weeks, the Angels made a huge move, not only for their team, but really for you in bringing in a guy top 5 all time in saves in Kenley Jansen, a guy who has been
Mhm.
so consistent over his 15 plus year career. What has he told you already that is something that you think, man, this is really going to help me?
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. Like I can't even overstate how great he's been to me so far, just in the week that I've known him. I mean, every day he's going out of his way to whether if I'm throwing a bullpen, he's there watching the whole thing and giving me pointers. But I think the main thing is just the mentality that he has. It rubs off on people. I mean, he talks about a lot when the gate opens and the relievers come out. Like the game's over. Like that's our mentality. We're shortening the game as relievers. Like we need to have a cohesive unit and trust all the guys that we have down there, and you can feel it wearing off on everybody here. It's exciting, and I mean I'm just excited to take whatever I can from him and just make myself better, make the team better, and he's even open. He's like, I want you to push me too, like which that gives me a lot of confidence as obviously a young pitcher in the big leagues that he feels that way about me, and obviously I feel that way about him, but I would never expect him to be that humble and be like, you know, if I can learn from you, I would love to. So it's awesome.
That's great to hear. I love that. I
Mhm.
know you're busy. I got 3 more things, and I'm going to go let you go crush driver. And don't forget about the putting because
Yeah,
you
yeah. That's
drive for
that's the
show and
hard
you putt
part.
for dough. Okay, don't forget about that
Right.
part. Number one is you mentioned your twin brother Zach, and I love his story that he was struggling with some things with mental health, and he came out and he addressed it. And he might not be as big a name as you are in the baseball world, even though that he ended up being drafted by the Angels. But I know how proud you must be of him to take that step because not everybody, particularly in our sport, where sometimes people want to just hold on to their feelings and they think it's a sense of weakness if they go out and say, "Hey, I need help," and it's okay if you need help too. You must be really proud.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how awesome it is, just the way he's been so open about it. And I mean, obviously as a guy, it's hard to be open about that stuff, especially when you kind of have a platform. Obviously playing at Tennessee and then getting drafted, he has that platform to reach other people. And I'm just really proud that he's using it to do something good for other people, because I know he struggled, and I saw it firsthand how tough it was for him, and just the fact that he's using his struggle to help other people. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how proud I am of him, and continue to be so to this day, because I know he's doing whatever he can to help other people in any way that he can.
That's so awesome. Tell him that we're proud of him here too at John Boy Media. I think it's great. I think it's really
I
important
will.
that
Thank you.
I think it's great. I do want to ask one fun question about the twin stuff.
Okay.
Did you ever pull a fast one on a girl in terms of a date? Like one of you went on a date with her and then the other one midway through showed up?
We actually didn't, which is funny because I mean, you would have obviously. I mean, we look, especially when we were younger, we look the exact same. I don't know. I guess we just never. I don't know.
We
never did it. But
you're too nice is what it's come to.
Yeah,
man.
I guess so.
That's the thing. I don't know. The Rose brothers, if we had done, not that any of us actually went on any dates because we were kind of losers. We all finished strong, but we were kind of losers getting there.
Hey,
but
that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. The ABS system, the automated balls and strikes. Are you allowed as a pitcher? I know legally you're allowed to, but has Ron Washington said, hey, let's let the catchers tap their head. I want you focusing on the pitch.
I'll be completely honest. I've yet to throw to one of those things. I'm going to just let the catchers do it because I know if I was out there trying to, I'd be like, oh, that's a strike 100%. And I don't know. It's so hard when you're throwing, like you're moving off to the side when you throw it. Like I'd rather just, I know Logan and Trav and whoever else is back there have a good idea of the strike zone. They're going to know if they want to challenge it. I'm just going to leave it up to them.
Okay, last thing. Yusei Kikuchi was a big free agent pickup for you guys. Not only a really, really good pitcher. We saw that particularly after he got traded from Toronto to Houston last season. I don't know if you know this. He likes to celebrate with Japanese whiskey after he pitches and wins. So does that mean the entire pitching staff now has to grab a shot of this famous whiskey afterward?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a drinker, but I mean, if it's for the guys, I'll take a shot of this whiskey. Why not? Like if we're winning games and it's with the boys, I'm all for it.
I love it. I love it. Well, I wish you well. I know that you just recently got engaged, right, at the end of January?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So is this going to happen in 2025, 2026? I just want to put it on my calendar.
2026, November. Put it on the calendar, and yeah, I mean, obviously that was one of the greatest days of my life. I definitely outkicked my coverage, and just super excited about it.
Happens to a lot of us. Her name is Anna, correct?
Anna, yes.
Great. Well, congratulate her. And you as well, man. You're a blast to watch. You're a really good dude. We're all rooting for you, and we can't wait to watch you throw 107. I'm just saying 110 is a possibility. I don't care if you think it is. I'm just,
Hey, I'm never going to say no. Why not? Thank you very much.
Hey, really appreciate it. It's good to get to know you, and go hit some balls straight today, Ben, okay?
I will, yeah. That's my goal today. All drivers are going to be right in the middle of the fairway.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for dropping by. I want to thank Ben Joyce. It was really nice of him. He was obviously, you could tell, in between his workout and going to golf with the boys, so really appreciate him. One other thing, you may have noticed that Alex Grappa is our new producer, and he's been doing an amazing, amazing job. He had to take today off. He's got a little personal time, which is awesome. I highly suggest that wherever you work, take some time to yourself. It keeps, as my man Marshawn Lynch likes to say, the mentals in place. But I never got to do this properly. When we started this show 4+ years ago, I guess it was now, in the spring of 2021, I had never met my producer, and he's turned into one of my really good friends here at John Boy Media. You know his name, Rob Scirocco. He has since recently moved on. There he is. He's now long-haired Robbie. I can't believe it. Like when we started, you had the little cut. You look like this little kid. I was like, how old are you, 12?
Yep.
Yeah. You're probably older than the average person we have at our company, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the average is probably like 26, 27, 34. Mold.
Be careful with those numbers that you're throwing out there, because some of us are literally older, like twice as old as some of those numbers. But I never had a chance to really thank you, because you're a huge part of what we have done here on the Rose Rotation. Everybody that has been a consistent player on this show, meaning, guys like Glasnow and Brault and Hedges and Trevor May and guys that Miggy Rowe, all these guys that have been a consistent part of our program, always are like, "Hey, Rob, how you doing?" So you've been part of the family. I know that you're now producing Talking Baseball, which is awesome. Doing a few other things at the company, and that's what we're all about here. Is that when they feel like you can grow into some other role, it's important to do that. So we miss you, but we're really happy for you.
No, thank you, Chris. I mean, the past 4 years were awesome. Getting to do this show was a dream. I mean, honestly, it was a ton of fun. Learned a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of fun. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you.
You got it, brother. So we've got some producerial changes, as we like to say in the biz, and also the show itself is going to be altering quite a bit coming up at the beginning of the 2025 baseball season. We'll have more details on that coming along shortly. So for our co-producers for this episode, Robbie Scirocco and Alex Grabb, and for our guest today, Ben Joyce of the LA Angels, I am Chris Rose. We will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.